What up? What up? What up? We are back. DEI Alliance Spotlight. We have a super special guest to start the year. It's only right that we do the first lady of Rising Coaches as our first DEI Alliance guest for the Spotlight. So we have Coach ERIN from women's basketball at Minnesota and Rising Coaches. Let's go ahead and let you just introduce yourself and tell us all what's going on with Minnesota, how you're loving it. First Division I job, Big Ten, got a great staff. Tell us a little bit about ERIN, how ERIN's doing, and Minnesota.
Yeah, doing great. Minnesota is really cold. If anybody was wondering, it is real. And the people are like, don't skip a beat. They just keep it moving, regardless of it being absolutely freezing. And I think it was negative 16 or 17 on Sunday. So yeah, we just keep it moving. It's definitely making me tougher. The University of Minnesota is it's a great place. It's such it feels like a small school, which is like kind of my background. That's kind of where I went and played and things like that. So small school vibes. I absolutely love it, but it's still, the Big Ten, the Power Five. We compete and do things right. And it's just been an incredible opportunity to just really sit back and be in a season of observation and learning and being in a position where I have great mentors, women that are really championing me to just be the best at my job and to explore all the different routes and things that come with women's basketball industry, as well as still being tied to Rising Coaches, which is my tried and true. I owe a lot to them. They are just incredible individuals, and Adam still, talk to him all the time, work with him and just do some stuff on the side just to kind of stay in it. And it was really hard to kind of let that part of my life go. So we just kind of kept with it a little bit, and it's been fun. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. Happy to be in this new year, and yeah, we're just getting it going. 2022. Can't believe it.
I love it. I love it. What's one of your? Everybody's got a different way they go about a new year. Do you have anything specific that you do or that you focus on, or that you try to? Some people are resolution people. Some people are goals people. Some people are a combination of both. We do a one word in our family. So yeah, everybody has a different thing. What's your thing?
Yeah, so mine is a one word. I do a one word just to have like positive expectations. Yeah, mine this year is refine.
Yeah,
As actually it's a really interesting word. So I was actually at church on Sunday, and we were kind of talking about like in the wilderness, God leads you into the wilderness and he also leads you through it. And in those moments, like you're refined, you're pruned, giant scissors, little scary. But like I am who I am to the core, and I love who I am. But there's always ways to, be refined and to, be pruned, and each encounter and each, experience just kind of shapes who you are. And, obviously change is good. But also, not forgetting, who I am, where I'm from, my roots, things like that. So my word is refine this year.
I love
And then just some small things is like, I started like reading before bed and things
it.
like that, just like to turn my brain off.
Yeah.
So just those things. And I'm still in my grace period, and, I just moved here in August, so it really hasn't been that long. So just still getting settled in, but finally like in a routine that I feel, really good and energized throughout my day to, kick butt.
Awesome. So those that don't know, ERIN is a guru at structure, organization, and taking things to a refining level. So I love that your word is refined, because it's kind of what you do for everyone else around you anyway. So I love that. My word is actually greater. So similar to refined, but just working to be even greater in every area in any way I can. So anyway, enough about me. So Minnesota basketball, tell us real quick what you do at Minnesota in your role as your first time being on a Division One. It's the first time being in a college staff period, right?
Yes. Yeah. We are doing it. So I graduated with my master's in May. And still just really, obviously with the pandemic and all of these unknowns, was really kind of nervous and didn't feel as confident as what I maybe should have to really step into like a full-time Dobo role or a full-time coaching role. And I still didn't really know, just still experiencing and exploring those options. And I had kind of connected with someone on staff at Minnesota just as like kind of a mentor, asked her to kind of walk me through her job and things like that. And she presented me a position, and it's a post-grad internship position, full-time paid. It's incredible. We don't have graduate assistants. So essentially I kind of fill that role, as well as get to do like, I basically have my hand in everything, which is so much fun. Especially it was kind of just the exact position and situation that I felt like very comfortable walking into and confident and still super eager to learn, and really put, all of the challenges and circumstances I had faced and kind of made that come to life, and apply it to a position finally. And also too, just kind of like get my endurance back to like working. Like we spent so much of our lives like in quarantine and things like that. And basketball season, obviously college coaches, like it's no joke. It's a hustle. It's a grind, like flying the day before practice, shoot around, walkthroughs, flying after the game, getting home late, those things, just getting that endurance back. And then just seeing how like incredible people and an awesome basketball staff like works, and, communicates and things like that. And, so I just really felt comfortable kind of starting out in that role. And then it being, Big Ten women's basketball is the freaking best. Like it is top notch. It is like top class. Like it is just incredible to compete and like just watch these players develop, not only like as incredible players and them challenge and, go through the season of life, but also like being young women and kind of seeing where they're at in life and figuring things out. And they're getting their endurance back too. Like all their classes were online and now they're in person. So this position has just been really cool. I get to kind of work in recruiting, which is something that I just didn't think that I was going to like at all fall in love with in a way, but like just the level of like Carly Thibault DeBose is just, she's incredible. And the way that she organizes things and, gets things done. And like, we just had the top 9 recruiting class, and like, that wasn't on accident. Like that was not, that was just the incredible organization and program and coaches, and just being able to see that all kind of come to life and be a part, like a very small part of it. As well as like Melissa Maines, who's the Dobo there, who like, oh my gosh, she's been doing this for years, and she just, she puts so much effort and like energy into everything. And I swear she like gets stuff done while she sleeps. Like it's insane. She just has it like that. So it's just been so cool to like sit back and watch. And then obviously like the basketball side of it, I kind of fell in love with a little more being here. I was kind of trying to stay away from all that. But I just love it. Like Lindsay Whalen is just her mind. She's a player. She's a competitor. Shimmy is Shimmy. She's just, she's been in it for so long and just knows how to communicate, and, it's amazing. And then, Kelly Curry, she's awesome. And just, they all bring such an incredible, like level of everything that it's just like, you're not missing much. And those girls and players like are very grateful to have, all those moving parts. So it's just been really cool to honestly just sit back and watch, take note, and really just see if I can take a little piece of each of them. So yeah.
I'm sure. And you're adding value as you're taking a piece, you're adding value. What's the biggest surprise you think so far? Division I, high Power 5 basketball. What's the biggest surprise so far?
That's a really good question. I think, I have no idea. I don't know. Like I would say the biggest surprise would be probably just how much, like, I think it's just like kind of the behind the scenes, like how much goes into it. Like being like played Division 1, I kind of knew like, okay, we, got on a bus, we got to the game, we played, we had food, stuff like that. But I think like the behind the scenes and really like all of the effort and planning that goes into it. And it's like, I also kind of get to have a hand and like work with our creative department. And that's been something super cool, like with this, turning of age with name, image, and likeness, being able to use like my creativity and my passion behind, representation and women branding themselves and, go get your money, get your bag.
Right.
And kind of having that all come to life. I think the most surprising part is like how high level of a program like we operate at when it comes to those things, but also too like how willing everyone is to like let me learn and be a part of those things.
Right.
Like our SID being like, hey, can you help me film this reel? Or hey, like throw us some graphic ideas for, our current recruits, or like, make some videos to send out, like, practice, just all those different things that I've been able to like have a hand in and then like make an impact, I think has been very surprising. But also just the level of like, there's so much to everything. And so for me being like, oh my God, I'm so organized in systems, I think I was like, oh my God, I don't like, it's just so overwhelming. Like there is a lot of stuff that goes into it. And then just kind of having that like grace and chip on my shoulder when, I'm operating with people and we're working side by side, and knowing that, we all have like a lot to do and a lot to get done and accomplish, is probably, that might be the most surprising thing for sure.
That's a good one. So I see in your background, if I may call it out, your Rising Coaches Honors Award. Congratulations. Yes, that's high. Yep. Congratulations. Talk a little bit about Rising Coaches, and then there's something new. We'll go ahead and let you make the announcement since you are the first lady of Rising Coaches. We'll let you make the announcement of what's upcoming with Rising Coaches.
Yeah. So Rising Coaches is still, like it's still just a huge part of my life. It's been awesome to just be able to stay connected and work. So I still kind of work more internally. I'm not necessarily, working with a lot of the like external things. So you don't see my face as much, which has been, great for me. But so it's just been like working with big projects and brainstorming and planning and just keeping things organized with kind of those bigger projects that we have. So like conferences and things that kind of Rising Coaches is kind of was created on, and like the foundation of it. And like you kind of said, we have, we're planning an equity and inclusion. It's happening. We planned an equity and inclusion night. So obviously Adam is super passionate about just like, we don't want everything that like, our country has been through, people have been through, to kind of just stay with kind of what it was and not have a continuous impact. And that's something that is like, I'm super passionate about as well. Like, I think, we have to not only just like remember it, but we need to keep still building and challenging and pursuing, changes and equity and inclusion and things of that nature. And so something that we kind of brainstormed a long time ago, and we just kind of were like, we need to do it. It's something that, is on our hearts and we're really big on is, we're going to do kind of like, it's kind of like a Kicks for Cancer, or like, we did like a mental health awareness night in the Big Ten, and it's basically you just wear pins. So I have them, and this is kind of the logo we went with. So it's an equal sign, equity and inclusion. Like we want equality across the board. And so we're sending out pins to all Division I and Division I men and women's head coaches. And just, we ask that they wear them in like mid-February for whatever game they have. And not necessarily, we didn't want to cause like something more for like there to be more stuff for teams to do, but we just kind of want this to be a night of awareness, a night of impact of like, equity and inclusion can mean something different. Like for me, it means like women getting paid the same, and, like women coaching women and being, having the same, set up at the Final Four that the men have. And even the fact of like the NCAA allowing like women's basketball to be March Madness this year, and like just bringing awareness and things that are passionate, for each different person of what they think like, equity and inclusion is, as well as just continuing to kind of remember and build on and keep going of kind of what we all saw and went through, depending on how it impacted you, kind of this past year and a half. And yeah, so we're super excited about it. And it's just been something that, you know, I've been doing off to the side, which has been great. And it's something that, you know, hopefully it brings just a lot of awareness to things that matter and, you know, things that are impactful for that community, that school, that team, whatever they're going through.
Yeah, and hopefully this the plan is for it not to just be a one-time thing and just make it an annual reminder that can stay inside in mind, because I think that's the biggest goal from working with Adam and even him having the vision to create this alliance, to do Spotlight, to do to partner with other organizations to make change, is to keep it inside in mind and not let it just be, oh, that was a fad that happened in the pandemic, but now it's things are back the way that, you know, a different way. So I love that you spoke about it. I'm excited to be in the middle of it, and look forward to connecting to Adam now that he's back, about what we need to make happen behind that. I'm excited. So let's talk about you now before we let you go. Have some fun. Tell us about your favorite music when you played, and what is your favorite music to get ready now before a game? What would you say? Some of this is hot seat. We're just going hot seat now.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So when I played, it was pretty stereotypical, I would say, like hip hop, Drake. I really liked kind of like just like, I don't know, I'd say rap for sure. I really liked kind of like high energy, high beat. I wasn't a huge like EDM pop person. But then also like I really liked kind of like old school 2000s hip hop for sure, like 50 Cent. And just probably like Rihanna and Beyonce. Like, you know, I was very like emotional, I feel like, when I was played. So I would always try to like set the mood. I'm also like pretty dramatic. And so I would like kind of keep it to like super kind of slow and in your feels before the game, like on the bus ride, stuff like that. And then kind of like right before I went out, like, you know, whatever we had on our playlist was usually pretty like uppity and rocking and bumping. But we had a good time. Like I was really big on like bringing the energy. I hated like kind of waiting around like, oh, like, you know, is the energy gonna, you know, come happen tonight? I was really big on like creating my own and bringing it. And because it's just so contagious. So I was really big on that. Now I hit a little country funk. I don't really know where that came from. Kind of country's kind of uppity though now. So I think it's that. I don't know if it's like being back in the Midwest. It's just kind of like, I don't want to say country's my roots, but so kind of like back into the little like country. I've been doing that. Most recently, just kind of like slow like worship. Like I've always like loved worship music and stuff, but I just feel like being in like such a go environment, like when I wake up in the morning, like I started meditating. So I've been meditating and then just kind of get ready to worship music and do my workout and stuff like that. So kind of on the drive over to like the gym and stuff, I try to just like stay super mellow. And yeah, so it's been I'd probably say that's my music right now. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
I love it. I love versatility though. Versatility. You can play the point.
I listen to a lot of stuff. Like,
yeah.
Very folky too. Like love like, yeah. We'll leave it at that.
Versatility. I like it. What about your shoe game? What was your shoe game like? What were your favorite pair of shoes to wear when you played? And what are your favorite kicks now to rock on the sideline? Because now you're on the sideline. It's a big deal.
Yeah, this is actually so funny. So I just obviously went home for the holidays and went and visited like my high school coach because I like love staying in touch with him and just like, you know, giving back to the community and being around. I think that's super important. And like I loved seeing players come back when I was in high school because it's just like there's more to it than just, you know, Oswego high school. We love it. So I went back and I was actually like looking at the shoes and I wore like LeBron 10s. I was swaggy in high school.
Okay.
I had LeBron 10s, which was wild. Like I was like, why? You know, I was like, that was a dropping bags on that. And then I wore and LeBron like had just come out with shoes when I was in high school. So it was like a big deal. So I wore like the LeBron 10s, 11s, and 12s. I'm pretty sure like I had all of them throughout my like playing career.
Okay.
And then, or like in high school, and then college, I mean, like we had to wear team shoes mostly. I would try to kind of get out of it and be like, yo, coach, they're the same color. But like,
right. It
so sometimes I had some flexibility. Sometimes I didn't. But yeah, so just kind of depended. And then I went through some injuries and I was like, I gotta have these ones.
That's the way to do it though. Coach,
yeah.
to stay healthy, I gotta wear these.
Yes. So I tried to like get, not like we didn't want to rock like the hyper dunks. We wanted something a little more high scale. And then sideline wise,
what's the sideline looking like? What's it looking like?
I love the fact that Air Force Ones are a thing. I'm just gonna say it. So I've been just rocking my Air Force Ones. Sometimes we play on a raised court, so that has been an adjustment. Let me tell you. And I'm Lindsay's stool girl, and I have to get that thing up there in plenty of time.
You gotta really be moving during the game.
Oh my gosh, it is so. I'm like, and sometimes if I'm sore, I can't work out before games because it's a serious step. People don't realize it. And everyone's like, and I was like, oh, has anybody ever like fallen off this like court? Because I was like a dive girl, like going for every loose ball. Like I would have been off the court. And I've seen 3 people fall off the court, and everyone's like, people never fall off this court. And I was like, seen 3 people, not from us, thankfully, but like. I'm like, what is going on? Anyway, sorry. So that's a huge factor into it. So sometimes we go for I'll wear like some all white Air Maxes, keep it clean, keep it fresh. But then, yeah, I've been rocking my Air Force Ones for sure. Cause the nice athleisure wear that's kind of stuck around from, COVID season, I'm extremely thankful for. And so, yeah, it's just been, it's been great to kind of have the nice, clean, athletic wear, very comfortable, so I can kind of mix it up and have the sneaks. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been rocking. So Air Force One gang.
I like it.
How I roll.
We're getting closer to the end. We're still hot seat right now. What is your top 5? It can be female or male. Top 5 players. What's your starting 5 of your top 5?
Oh my gosh.
No wrong answers. It's yours.
No, correct. And I'm gonna keep it all women because let's be real, we're the most fundamental superior individuals. I'd say Candace Parker for sure. Like, oh my God, love her. She was the reason I like made the goal to play college basketball. She's from the 630 area. So that was super cool watching just everything that happened this year.
For those that don't know, what's the 630 area? Is that Chicago?
Chicagoland, Naperville. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm from like next door to Naperville, but
she just got like female athlete of the year.
Yes, yeah. She's just incredible. So definitely Candace Parker's in my starting 5. Oh my gosh, who else? Now I'm like blanking. Who have I loved watching this year? Like Diana Taurasi, come on. She's my top 5.
No brainer.
Who else? Oh my goodness. My girl Nat Ochanwa with the Lynx. For sure, she's in my top 5. She just brings that, like, obviously Candace Parker's veteran, but she just brings that veteran status and that grit. And we need some Canadian vibes. She just has great vibes, great team. An incredible person, obviously. I feel like I need 2 more. Oh my goodness, Brian, I'm blanking.
You can sneak one male on there. If you want, you don't have to.
I don't know if I want to.
Let's keep it moving.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Can I have like? Can they be like former players?
It can be any player.
Oh my gosh, like Lindsay Whalen's my point guard.
All time. Let's go.
All time, forever. She is my point guard forever. Oh my gosh, who else? And then let me sneak in my girl Kathleen Doyle. Okay.
Okay. I like that squad.
She's living her best life overseas. She is having it, but she's my girl. She's like PG vibes, but could be a great shooter. Good guard. So we have a lot of like new school, a lot of old school.
I like the squad.
I think it would be great.
A lot of versatility.
Yeah, some friends and like, I love cheering on my friends. That's like even better. So being in a city with 7 professional teams, it's been great. So I stay busy.
Okay, so last 2. So what is ERIN's, you can either say goal or what do you hope to get out of this career thing? Like, why do you love doing what you're doing and what do you hope to get out of this whole thing? And then lastly, at least one funny story.
Yeah. Okay. So for the goals, this is actually like great. Something I've been definitely like praying about and thinking about and like journaling and big on manifesting. So like as scary as they are, but putting things out into the open in the air. The biggest thing that I want to get out of like my experience here and just my experience, like kind of, to leave a legacy, if that's a word, is just like being a relationship person. Like I want people to like walk away from me and be like, she's a great person. Like obviously you can do so much X's and O's. You can do so much, creating content. You can do so much planning trips and executing and or being organized. But like, are you leaving like people better than you found them? And just like filling people with like love and, there's so much negative like energy in the world and you create that, we create that no matter what, just from like the moment you wake up. So I think just like staying with this theme of like leaving people better than I found them and creating great relationships, just having people call and be like, tell me what she's like, and if they're like, she's okay, like X's and O's, or okay this, or okay, whatever, like I want people to be like, she's hardworking, she's reliable and she's a great person, has a great heart. And so I think that's the biggest thing from that standpoint for sure.
Yeah. Which all those things you're living way beyond what you even know, but I know you're going to keep going, but I got to say that my girl ERIN is elite of the elite of the elite. I've always said it. I always will. I'm a huge fan. Your family, but I'm still saying it anyway. It's true.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. They're 100. They don't even know about that part.
No one knows about E100, but I keep it very real, or I try.
E100, I love it. Okay.
Yes.
Do you have an E100 story, or do you just have any story?
Oh my God, my daily life is an E100 story. I am like, my brain she's going all the time. Funny story. Here's actually like a recent funny story. Okay, this one's actually like really good. So we were playing in Des Moines and we played Drake, and we have a player that was from Des Moines, and so we like all got to go to her house, and it was kind of like pre-Christmas, so we were kind of all leaving. This was our last game, got to go on break. And it was just like awesome, experiencing that and having all the players be in our house, and all the coaches were kind of, we were all together and just like, like talking and chatting and stuff. And it's just like great to kind of be like in those just like in between settings. You just like, you get to like learn and kick it and do whatever, it's not just like we have like a job to do and whatever. And so we're chilling, and it was great. Like we decorated cookies, and it was just all good vibes, all Christmas vibes, holiday vibes. Like we loved it. And we like are getting ready to leave. And so we're all like grabbing coats and doing this and blah, 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 and kind of getting ready. And all the players have the same shoes, like team shoes, we all travel like the same, we all wear the same thing, stuff like that. And then the coaches, like we can kind of like wear, a little bit, whatever, but we also kind of have, we also like obviously are given all of the same things. Right. And so I was like, I'm going to put my shoes by the players because they're different. And, then it's kind of like quick exit. I can grab my shoes and be like accessible, help people out, whatever, give people whatever they need. I just try to be like available, ready. And I like go to put my shoes on, and I'm like, all right, these kind of feel weird, whatever,
Wait a minute.
Like, it's fine, whatever. Like they fit. So I'm like, maybe I'm just being like weird. And I'm like hypersensitive. So I'm like, this is really weird. So whatever. So we kind of get on the bus, we get to the hotel, and I'm like trying to walk, but like look at my feet at the same time. Completely like bent over walking. And I'm like, these are not my shoes. Not my, like in my head, I'm like going crazy. I'm like, did I put someone else's? But like I put them in this same spot. All the players, like, it's not like I'm wearing a player's shoes. Like, what is going on? And then I was like, oh, maybe one of the other coaches like are wearing the same shoes as me. Like, let me go, whatever. Happens to be
my size.
Yeah, happens to be Coach Way. So I'm like, I'm like, these are not my shoes though. Like, this is gonna drive me crazy. And so I like walk up to her and I'm like staring at her feet and I'm like, I think we switched shoes. Like, I think we're wearing the wrong shoes. And she's like, E, what are you talking about? Like, you're crazy. Like, what do you mean? And I was like, no, like, these just don't feel like mine. And I feel like if we switch, it'll feel a lot better for you. So like, like we should just, yeah, like maybe, you know, and if not, like, that's on me, coach. Like, that's on me. It's in my head. And so we switched shoes, and like Coach Wei is just, she has like a really funny personality and is like, you know, really easygoing and stuff like that. And she starts kind of like skipping with her feet. She's like, these are my shoes. These feel so much better. Thanks, E.
Yeah.
Like, I just started dying laughing because I was like, what are the chances of us switching shoes? And I was like, Coach Wei, we wear the same shoe size. Just remember that, you know, future reference.
I love
it. But it was literally so funny. And Shimmy made a comment and she's like, this new generation, I would have kept those shoes, went up to my room and said nothing about it. Like, I would have never said anything to my head coach. I was like, Shimmy, I like did her serve, like, you know, I was like, we had the wrong shoes on.
I looked her up, like
same size, but everyone knows, you know, you put shoes on and you're like, these aren't, you know,
these ain't mine.
Nah, yeah. And like, and me and Coach Wei, we have we had some ankle injuries in our careers. Obviously her career was like way longer and more intense than mine, but I was like, it's important, you know, like we have to switch shoes. And it was just the funniest thing ever because I was just like trying to walk and look at my, like, I was just so confused. I was like, what is going on? And it, you know, happened to be what it was. But, you know, everything's great though. We switched shoes back. All is well. And yeah, everything's right in the world after that. It was good. It was, but that's my funny story.
Now, was this before Coach Shimmy made her half-court shot twice in the same practice? Because I saw a video.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible. This was before.
Okay.
This was before that. And it was so funny because like every single time she's like says, oh, this is it. Like, I'm gonna make it. And then after she misses, she'll be like, next, she's like, I'm gonna do it one of these times. Like, I'm gonna do it one of these times. And it was just funny because it was a shoot off like with her post player. And like it was so funny. And just like Shimmy is just like, she is incredible.
She celebrated as if she did hit the shot to win a big game. Like,
it absolutely. Because as like retired players, like that means something.
That's
like
your moment. That's our moment.
Me shooting a half court shot is like difficult now. And that was like that was a really like gut wrenching thing for me to like kind of
come to grips to.
I was like, I don't think I can get it there. And I can't be like a former hooper, like, you know, not even getting it to the rim. I was like, oh my God. And our Midnight Madness, my senior year, I made the half court shot and like crowd went crazy. Like,
okay.
Yeah, we had our shoot off, our Midnight Madness, you know, our big like blue and white. We called it like Blue Madness or something. And we like teamed up with the men's team. And yeah, I hit like, I was so like very used to like sinking half court shots. And now I'm like, oh my, I don't know if I gotta shoot something like. And Shimmy's out here just sinking them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so like that's I was like, I gotta get back in the weight room. Like, we gotta get some shots up. So I kind of sneak some half court shots here or there,
but not work out before the game because you got to get up and down not before that. So just remember, this has been awesome. I could do this forever with you. It's good to have you back. Hopefully, in 2022, you have some more of this in you because we miss women in sports and you being the host and doing your thing. You were our first female guest on All Access too, so I'm so biased towards ERIN. But anyway, any last words you have before we let you go? Thanks so much for joining us. We love you, and look forward to more big things from you.
Yeah, no, I'm just super thankful for the people that support me and see, you know, great things in me. That's super great and kind of all I can ask for. But just everyone stay safe. Have grace. We are still going through a lot. Everyone is still processing a lot. It does not give you an excuse to be a mean person. But just, you know, walk up to somebody, give them a little side hug every once in a while. If you can, if you're wearing masks and everything is safe. But that's what I've just been big on is bring the vibes, bring the energy.
Yes.
Don't be an energy sucker, you know, giver, be an energy. No, be an energy giver. Don't be an energy taker. So
yes, no vampires.
My final remarks. Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate it.
We see you, ERIN. We see you. We see you.
Yes.
It was a great work.
She's out.
She's out. Look forward to big things coming soon. And Equity Night. We'll end with that. Equity and Inclusion Night coming soon. stay tuned. Rising Coach is doing.
We're excited about it.
Yes, and if you get a pin in the mail, it probably came from her work. So shout out to Erin again.
From me packing it myself. Yep.
Yes. Okay. We out.